borom jasna pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jasna yow number one stop shop ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofu sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jasna si 250 01 24 ak quality jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it bégal sa alaaji
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah mbokk yi ñu gërëm leen sant leen bu baax a baax di leen nuyuwaat rek si Gambian Talents TV comme nuñ ko defee every Wednesday ak every Thursday rek si seen biir Gambia so ñu indil leen lépp li nga xamante ne current issue la xew-xew la ci biir réew mi wala concern la ci biir réew mi ñu waxtaanee ko dinañ faral nag di dalal ñi nga xamante ne politicien lañ ñi nga xam ne concerned citizen lañ ak képp ki nga xamante ne rek yaa ngi si biir réew mi te soo waxee nit yi jàngee si mbaa ñu jëriñoo si dinañ bugg di invite ñooñu su ko defee rek ñëpp kaytam bokkoy na Gambia wérgal képp fépp fu waay munti nekk rek ci biir réew mi rek ñu ngi lay nuyu ak ci bitim réew di la nuyu bu baax a baax ñu nekk ci kaso yi ñaanal leen yàlla génne leen fa delloowaat leen seen njaboot ñu nekk ci lali lopitaan yi wala ñu nekk ci këri feebar ñaan yàlla fugga seen boppa yi rek ñu am wér ak wérle su ko defee rek ñu leen a dalalaat rek tey nag si studio bi ma am fi suma collègue bi Modou Diop moom nag dina ñëw si kàllaamay soose ñu waxtaanee ko ak tey ma am fi suma guest bi di honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang mu nekk ki nga xamante ne honorable bu ñëpp xam la ci biir réew mi saa su nekk rek moom tamit mu ngi koy gis si yenn plateforme si waaye nag tey moom laa dalal si biir Gambia soo ñu waxtaanee réew mi waxtaanee xew-xew yi ak lépp li nga xamante ne rek mu ngi xew ci biir réew mi Modou
ngejo rahmatullah assalamu alaikum ka jiber la dawlen dunia kono kay konton ton ka fo ko welcome to yet another Birr Gambia so mi yalan ka fa ko kan arami ka botalan nani ka ta fo talan lulu nim politician ka kacha ani city amen constituency no fanan ka kacha banko tanya sakatuma wol mi yalan ka fa ko lebe tren kan men amen honorable of an tentu lamba jera baake for honoring our invitation and nan jang na be kaja kuma basla bawo honorable fanan keta molde mi yana gava ko he's a household name in the country most especially in the parliament you know na often the parliament feels it na be yabalang banko be colonel so I think I mean nanin session be kala it will be very very fruitful inshallah rabbi so keep watching
abarka baake Modou honorable ne konto
thank you very much madam Rahmatullah. First of all, I want to claim my name is Yaya Menteng Sanyang.
Menteng.
Not Sane.
Sanyang.
I'm not Menteng.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the program. Kum ka kenyaming torong every Tuesday wala Thursday ñu ñëwal leen fii am ci biir Gambia waxtaane fii bépp xew-xew bu nga xamante ne mu ngi go on fii ci biir réew mi last si Tuesday bi amoon nañ fi ki nga xamante ne mooy Dr. Mamadi Kurang amoon nañ fi tamit ki nga xamante ne mooy Demba Ali Jaw former Minister of Information te lépp luñ waxtaanee rek njëriñ la si biir réew mi te foog naa ne ñu bare bari jëriñoo nañ si te bokk na ci waxtaani xew ci biir réew mi jamono ji muy constitution bi waxtaan yu bare bari moom la ñuy indi ñu waxtaanee ko ndaxte Gambia moom tamit jot na ñu am beneen constitution bu es te loolu si waxtaan yi la bokk te concern la te réew mi yëpp ñu ngi si bàyyi seen xel bu baax a baax te ñu ngi ko discuss si plateforme yëpp ba pare tamit waxtaanee woon nañ tamit security ak yooyu noonu mu nekk lu am solo ndaxte réew bu nekk peace and stability of that country is very important. So security is a key issue bi nga xamante ne war nañ see bàyyi xel bu baax a baax suñ xoolee réew mi nu mu nekk di demee am ci wàllum security ak xew-xew yu nga xamante ne ñu ngi nekk di xew fii ci biir réew mi ñu koy xoolaat bu baax a baax waxtaane woon nañ si waxtaane woon nañ tamit affaire yi ñi nga xamante ne ñu ngi si biir réew mi te amuñ kayit ñu ngi fi waxtaane nañ tamit affaire yi political parties yi nii ñi nga xamante ne seen diggante attaquante bi fële ak ku nekk di attaque sa morom loolu tam waxtaane woon nañ ko fi waxtaane woon nañ tamit li nga xamante ne mooy ñi nga xamante ne ñu ngi si biir réew mi te amuñ document ñu leen a delloowaat immigration seeg yooyu di si def liggéey bi mucc ayib waaye as long as ñu ngi si programme bi dinañ waxtaane yeneen fànn yi nga xamante ne ñu ngi ko war a waxtaanee tey nag waa UDP lañ fi am parce que honorable ku ne xam ne UDP la so dinañ laal si UDP yi dinañ si waxtaanee tuuti dinañ waxtaanee si constitution bi ak yeneen yi nga xamante ne dinañ si laal Modou fan nga starté rek su ko defee ñu doxal.
Waaw rahmatullah baraka baake comme yaa fo ñamendro bawo Gambia kay ku jamal be keri mel yalla ka fa ko nyanna ka chala ko la bawo nim man ka cha dron de ñoo fahamula recently nga jale membe keri amen ya fo non constitution in fact to me it's not yet a constitution, it's more of a document mi yalla ya cassette la so it's a draft constitution mi yalla ka fa ko bira finita 2024 jamal yela mirol samana yela ideal samana and then dol fan yela dissatisfaction of samana towards that draft constitution citing that ko 2020 draft owning yo cancel nyaming ne ñu ndo sama ko bim fola gamme de trying to play some certain mind games and all that, but then what match so le plan me yalla be jiban politician, but the most important people no yalla ka fako wol be ko temale among them mun député le dem yalla ka fako to la diam to yalla the National Assembly, and na gesso is somebody who's very close to him told me yeah honorable is a bookworm, and ngal by now you should have at least be conversant with the draft constitution of go by the leader. So honorable, enough question follow back upon reading the just draft constitution, area jumal closest jumal limit that actually you come across in that 2024 draft constitution.
Well, thank you very much, Modu, for your question. I don't want to go into close by close approach to the draft. First of all, let's establish a name for this particular piece of paper that Adama Barrow and his cabinet came together, integrate their brain cells and ideas, put it together in a piece of papers format, and gazette it as a process to bring it before the National Assembly. First of all, let's have the name for what they have put together. 2020, what happened in 2020 was a constitutional building process that was very consultative, both national and international, where citizens, even beyond the borders of the Gambia, put their ideas together and said how do they want them to be, how do they want to be governed. That process yielded to a particular document we call a draft constitution 2020. Now, what Adama Barrow and his cabinet did this time around, we cannot keep referring to it draft constitution. It's better we start calling it review draft constitution 2024. When we say draft constitution, we are referring to 2024 one. But this one is it's better we start calling it review draft constitution 2024. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that has been said. But I mean, but still, because like you said, the 2020, I mean, draft constitution, a lot of consultation has been made. And then, I mean, the transparency, of course, almost every Gambian has seen that the CRC went, I mean, countrywide tour. And of course, they went beyond this country to actually, I mean, seek some advice and all that. But then again, after all that money has been spent on that draft constitution,
160.
almost over $160 million, yet nothing came or come out of it. And then Gambians were so much disappointed.
Yes,
after that.
I agree with you. I am.
We'll get to that.
I was
mean,
not in the National Assembly. This is my first.
he wasn't
time,
there at the time.
in the
Okay.
National Assembly.
You know, so
actually.
after that, what could Jamal Mimbe Tinyata J on Sawala Fono? Yeah, no, sir.
I agree with you
Mm.
in totality, and this is not my first time to say that. $116 million is. I am a civil and disaster prevention engineer. That's where I have my first degree. If you give me that kind of money, I was going to give you at least some 8 or 9 kilometers of roads. So if that kind of money is invested, we have seen the amount of bad roads in this country. But we decided to invest that into a particular process called constitutional building process. And I don't the day only for it to go to the National Assembly and commit it to cold store. That is very disheartening and that is very bad. That is very unfortunate. So let's establish it from that perspective. Number two, the consultation was very wide. I said it here. Very consultative.
Most definitely.
Both national, even the most farthest, remotest part of this country was visited. And every citizen had their input in that document. So for it to go to the National Assembly and because of some partisan tricks and governance, they threw it. Some don't. It's so sad that some former National Assembly members, you speak to them, they don't even know why they threw the document. Because number one, it's against Barrow's interest. Like if Barrow,
The term limit.
exactly, time limits, just that time limit, that retrospective part of that time limit is what made them, through that very progressive document we call draft constitution 2020. It's very unfortunate and it's very disheartening. In fact, it's very annoying.
It is very annoying. You are right. Now, I mean, coming to 2024, I mean, we had the civil society saying, I mean, they have not been that much. They've been consulted by the cabinet, and then also because I mean, Gambia here is a very small country. If they could spend that huge amount of money on, I mean, to draft that 2022 draft constitution, and of course, clear to people now that they haven't spent any money, why should they find it very difficult to, of course, at least reach some relevant stakeholders, at least the civil society is part of them, and I mean, you name it. But then this time around, people were at some point very surprised as to how would the whole cabinet just came with a point and they still claiming that they have made some certain consultation. But how comes the media isn't aware of all those things?
So that is telling Gambians the deliberate lies and the deliberate misinformation Barrow government and cabinet historically has been doing to the Gambian people. Because if you listen, you pay attention to all the details and explanation from the minister during the press conference, it was like the process was consultative by way of consulting political parties and civil society organizations. Immediately after that press conference, all the political parties, UDP in particular, I have also seen GDC, I have also seen civil society organizations reaction. They all reacted to minister's statement that minister was lying. Minister was not speaking the truth. It was not consultative. So it doesn't need much talk, if you ask me. If the minister said this, and the political organization or civil society organization he accused of being consultative or being consulted during the process now came out with their own press release that they were not consulted. So what does that tell you about the minister?
But the Minister of Justice, I have in coffee time Kotenkako, there was consultation.
Yeah, between the ministry and who?
The public, political.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to qualify.
And Dr. Ismail Sita
that is
attests to that.
exactly what I'm trying to qualify. Both the two ministers were lying. understand, before the Gambian people. Because if they said they have consulted political organizations, they have consulted civil society organizations, and the same civil society organizations and political organizations are now saying they were not consulted. So what is now left for the government to do is to bring evidence. How were they consulted? Where?
At
So I think
Abuja.
the ball is now in the court of government to produce evidence that these people that we said we have consulted and they have reacted that they were not consulted. Let's give evidence so that me, you, and others will process that those evidence.
Because it also consultation on this time among more engage lot of people because it was already done. So
No, you see, if it was already done, I agree it was already
it was
done.
already
But
done.
now, if you are
With
coming to
good luck,
bring
Jonathan, something like that.
if you are coming to bring something different now,
Mhm.
you cannot rely on it was done. What was done
Because at least
was
some
people
adjustments were
exactly
made. So
such adjustments also people should be consulted. So don't tell me you have consulted me on a particular process that was white. You wanted to change it to blue now. You didn't consult me that I want to change to blue, thinking that you have consulted me before when it was white. It doesn't give me sense. So it's just exposing them.
Honorable, sign the Hamobe Siarine. A cabining new review draft constitution or not because the command no constitution now.
it's a draft.
It's a draft. It's drafted. Iba discuss kan because 2020 draft constitution molko wala beta yata fang nyindoti because natara ya ajos le nung dorong wala ya amen but clothes dol bondije totally like section 5 and other things and men yalon ko yemen ajos je pour que fangol le febo imantara mola o Gambian sol la site o jibe wala Gambian interest ka wo jibe. What is your stand in this new draft constitution and what are we hoping to see or hear from you guys because you guys are the lawmakers.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, the 2020 draft was for the entire Gambian population. Was for 2 point something million people. But this review draft 2024 was only for Barrow and his cabinet ministers because they wanted to encourage impunity. They want to encourage corruption. They want to discourage accountability. If you look at the entire draft, these are some of the things that the spirit of this particular review that Barrow and his cabinet did was to in fact discourage good governance. So if for me, if you ask me, why will Gambian people select a president that doesn't have integrity?
Yeah.
Integrity should be a measure. That should be the highest measure for any public official holder. Integrity. Why do I need to put anybody there? So why did they remove that? Why are they scared of? Now Gambians should begin to ask themselves this rhetorics. Why this? Why did they remove this? Why did they put this in there? What is their motive? So, in fact, we don't need to talk much on this particular constitutional review or whatever 2024. We will this document. Even you present it to somebody who maybe somebody was just sleepy, you wake him him or her from sleeping, and just tell him or a few sentences, he or she will just reject these documents in total, as it appears before him or her. So it's not. It's just deliberate effort.
Political lies la fanang. Yeah, political lies. Come here. There are 2020.
I told people several times. This time around, we are not going to be bullied. You see, they have the majority in the National Assembly. Any simple thing, they can bully us with their numbers. But this time around, they need us to pass this document. That's why I told Gambians, make yourself comfortable. This is not like any other bill where 25 National Assembly members against 10 will. No. This time around, we need some 42 National Assembly members to pass this document to referendum. And that's number one. Number two, if politicians, National Assembly members, do whatever they want to do with this document and pass it, it's not still the law. It will still go to the citizens as referendum. So if national assemblies national assembly members are not considerate about the plight of Gambians, as politics is always, and they pass this draft constitution, this review one. Gambian citizens, you should not be worried about this, because it will never be law. It will never have the force of law if it is not presented to you people in referendum. By way of this referendum, you Gambian citizens are now going to accept yes or no. If it is no, then it will never become a law in this country. So there are two things involved. There are two people involved here who are very key to make this constitution. Exactly. That's number one. The National Assembly members, 53 people or 58 people out of 2 million people. If it passed through them, then at the end of the tunnel, citizens are there waiting for this process by way of referendum. So that it will never go. But I can assure you that National Assembly members, or even NPP members and their independent affiliates, came together and want to pass this draft constitution. I can tell you, no UDP National Assembly member or some of our independent affiliates will agree to this draft. So therefore, it will never pass the National Assembly.
Good. The 2020 draft was halted by reasons, of political, consensus at some point. That's what most people said. And here again, 2024 draft, constitution also would actually probably maybe halted by, political motives at some point. Now, if that happens, how do you think? Gambia would actually, got a new constitution that we are all young.
Yeah, you see, it's very disheartening to still feel that Gambia we are still governed by the 1997 constitution, which is a legacy of a brutal dictator. This is very unfortunate, and this should not have happened in this 21st century. So that's why at one point I realized that Barrow is more comfortable with 1997 constitution than this 2020 constitution, because I have my reasons. He's more comfortable with 1997 constitution. You see, what they did is is born out of pressure. They are pressed nationally, internationally. Bring us the draft constitution 2020. So they're like, now let's just satisfy them. So what they did is just a performance. So just to fake the situation. Yeah, but there is no political will. There is no genuine political will for Barrow and his cabinet to bring this draft. Otherwise, they are not going to remove anything. If they want to remove anything, they can still bring it to the National Assembly. National Assembly members will discuss it. We make it a give and take situation. But for them, they just want to make sure let's just satisfy the international community. Let's just present it. There is no real and genuine political will in this process.
Honorable, what will be your response, Minister Yafo GRTS Ako UDP, because of
which minister
now? Dr. Ismail
that is that statement that statement from Dr. Sise is so misleading. It's a very misleading statement. It's so deliberate, and I don't expect that kind of statement from a young person like him, because for me, I thought that the young person who recently engaged in politics should stop that politic of insult, politic of misinformation, politic of unnecessary criticism, and politics of tribalism. I expect young people to deviate from that kind of position. So to see Dr. Sise, saying that statement in front of national television is very, very unfortunate, and it has revealed he has revealed to Gambians what kind of person he is. He's telling Gambians he doesn't have principle. He's telling Gambians he doesn't have any memory. That's the fact.
Well, like you said, Kurang also, opined that the other time we had him that 2020 draft would have been taken to the parliament because you people have been paid to actually, make laws for us at some point.
Yeah.
you go by it clause by clause. The thing, the clause you feel like this one is not of national interest, you take it out of it, rather than it going through the cabinet and then all that. Even though
for the first time I will agree with him on that. For the first time in my life, I will agree with I agree with a very cunning and crafty individual like Kurang. And why do you people call him doctor? Why you see, Gambia, we have to be very careful.
okay,
You see, people cannot be fake, and we help them to be fake on and on and on. What doctor? Is it a doctor by academic, where he achieved PhD in a particular field, or is a medical doctor? Why do we call people doctor when they're not doctor?
so are you insinuating that doctor? Mr. Mamadi Kurang is the doctor?
No, he's not a doctor. Doctor?
Okay.
No.
I could remember when he came here, I called him doctor. He said, "No, just call me Mamadi." So, but I don't know.
So look at that. You see, Gambians are so terrible. You see, I can go out this country and come back in the next 10 years, and I just say doctor. Everybody start calling me. He's not doctor. But in the full disclosure of facts, do you know I've never met him in person. I can meet him on the side. I don't even know who is it. No, we don't even debate. What happened is,
You run away from.
no, I will never run away. I know more than he knows. I will never run. What happened is, he just made some foolish comments about my party 5-point agenda. Do you understand? He misquoted that to people. He misrepresented that to people. And I was like, oh, come on. I'm a principled person in this party. Why can't I see this little petty guy that what my party 5-point agenda is all about? Because he need education. As far as my party, UDP 5-point agenda is concerned. And I was well prepared for that debate to dwarf whatever knowledge he has about.
You run away.
What happened is, I'm coming. I will clear that. Do you understand? So I was preparing for that debate very, very well. All of a sudden, I received a call from a very respectable person in the party who told me, Honorable, why do you want to debate with Mamadi Kurang? Number one, you are in the opposition. Mamadi Kurang is in the opposition. Our common denominator is Barrow and the NPP government. Why will two opposition members who are not in government go and debate?
But he call you guys.
It's so useless. Where I'm coming, it's so useless. I would not encourage you to go for debate with Mamadi Kurang. Do you understand? If we want to encourage that in our body politics, oppositions fighting.
But I don't think debate of policies, ideas, and
it's not. I want to debate with President Barrow on UDP, a program on policy. I want to debate with NPP National Assembly members. That I'm coming. So when that happen, he said that's number one. Number two, you are not of the same level. You are a National Assembly member. Why do you go and debate with somebody who you don't even know who is it?
Kurang is a well-known person.
It's not what is his portfolio in society?
He's a household name in the country.
It's not my. It's your household name, not in my house.
And
not in my house. That's number. I'm coming to give reasons. That's number three. This is somebody who could not even win his constituency with all household name. He could not win his own constituency. Constituency is big. Let me come down. This is a guy who could not even win in his village or ward. Let me come down still. This is a guy who could not even win in his old polling unit where you go and pull. It doesn't matter. So that is telling you that he doesn't have character. If he has character, he was going to win. Look at you saying his house in Dr. Mamadi Kurang, doctor. He cannot even win a polling station, his old polling unit, where he cast his vote. He cannot win there. So why is his house owner?
I think
so Gambia, we have to be very careful of. We have to be very careful of fake people. Do you understand? And they cannot be fake, and we help them to be fake.
Okay, Honorable, I want to come in there. Doctor, of course, when he stood, he could not actually win.
Call him Mamadi Kurang now.
Okay, Mamadi Kurang, whatsoever.
It's not.
But then again, we all
impersonation.
We should all agree to that. Doctor, Mamadi Kurang's, Jollof Tutors, of course, employs so many youths who has been through that Jollof Tutors. So many students in this country. At some point, I think Kurang has, of course,
And he
fulfilled his
was
social corporate
at the
responsibility by
commission.
giving back to society at some point. And of
Is
course,
it? Let me tell you people one thing.
you know,
Let me tell you people one thing. I wrote Jolof Tudo was a room and parlor college
okay,
that crashed at one point due to Mamad Kuran's mismanagement
really?
of that facility. That's number one. And I asked him that question. Can he tell Gambians lands allocated to him to establish or to relocate Jolof Tudos? What happened to that land? And I saw his response, but I didn't see him responding to my question. What happened to the land
But I
that
think
was
Kurang
allocated?
responds to all the corrections.
He said he got all the documents. If you need them, he can actually.
Which document? I don't need those documents from you. No. Why would I request those documents from? Let him tell Gambians, not me. It's not about me.
But we cannot dispute the fact
It's
that
not-
he at some point taught so many people.
What
And-
happened to Jolof Tutos?
Mhm.
What happened to it? It could have not crashed. What happened to
It was
Jolof?
shut
It
down,
crashed.
and then he
Why
said due to some
it's
political reasons or whatever.
what that's not true.
Okay.
Let him tell
But
Gambians
honorable,
why
Always.
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Let him tell Gambians why Jolof Tutos
Was
closed.
2017, I think.
In fact, I call it crash. Why? And I'll be very
That's a big
happy.
word.
I don't want to make people relevant who are very irrelevant. I don't think this interview should be about him.
No.
This should be about something different. I don't give people
Honorable,
relevant who are very
Honorable,
irrelevant.
yung interview man ke nakala
So can we talk about
Mama di Kurang?
uh-huh.
But yalong ning kumol fota. You guys attack each other. or
No, I
debate
don't.
something
We are not at the same
because-
level.
because-
I'm not at the same level with
because
Mama
on
Kura. I will never
Tuesday-
attack him.
Tuesday, he was here
Mhm.
about anything. I
Uh-huh.
mean for the wrong aketo mention. That's why more
He's so obvious.
and nung aka men for part alla party
He's so
na ko
obvious.
fanang.
No. He cannot. In fact, he doesn't have
He
any
said that
party.
UDP and MPP are 6 and 9. They are all the same.
That is his business. That is his business. We all know UDP and NPP will never be 6 and 9. That is his view. That is his devilish view that he held, and that doesn't concern us.
Now,
Let
like
him
you rightly
keep
said,
holding to that view. They are 6 and 9. We are
discussion will not be,
progressing. We are moving.
centered on
More-
Kurang, but then
wow.
you point Kumar Mbale raised as to, what crash, Jollof Tutos.
Yes,
You
ask him
understand?
that question.
Would you mind? Because like you said, also you made mention that debate you're supposed to have with Kurang
Yeah,
was at some point halted by a very respected
That
figure
is correct.
in the United Democratic Party.
that is correct.
But after that also we've also seen you you made a post on Facebook citing that you also have some official engagements. Within that week I think you went to somewhere around, is it Janjambure with some of your troops, and then but then would you actually like to debate him on the issue of still UDP's policies and of course the issue of Jollof Tutos, because Jollof Tutos is a very very renowned institution that of course taught so many Gambians here.
That is correct.
Exactly. So if you said that crash as a result of Muhammad's mismanagement, I think that is a serious allegation.
Well, let him deal with his mismanagement character there. But I will never debate with him.
Again.
I will never debate with him. I even regret why I because that was my primary reaction to his post about my party. I even regret why will I even propose
That.
to debate with him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna debate Akumar, even though
Not between me and him. I want to debate any NPP National Assembly
But there
member.
is a
Try to create a debate
Mhm.
or propose a debate between me and any NPP figure.
Mm.
Do you understand? To
Okay.
talk about
policies and
my alternative policies.
I will be
How are we going to do it different from NPP? I will do that for any NPP National Assembly member.
Yeah, good. But if I want
Yes.
the other opposition political
No.
parties-
We are
No,
they're not
No,
a problem.
excuse- I'm coming in.
because you are
Uncle,
different from
no,
politics.
listen,
No.
I'm coming in. Come like because ni carte fayo kata. This other political party at some point if I effects to result in a fan line. You understand? So it's
You
very
come
important.
together as
You see what
opposition.
you fail to establish is I said we are all opposition parties.
Exactly.
We
We
are
understand
not
that.
we are not in fight with any opposition.
That shouldn't be the motive.
For
The
me,
motive should be going to State House and all
we
that.
believe our common denominator
Okay.
Our common denominator should be NPP. Anything about NPP.
Right.
If you want to, I'm speaking. If you want to encourage the idea of two opposition parties debating and this and leave the common denominator, it's not helping this cause. It's not even helping the cause to unseat this incompetent administration we have in the country. It's not even good for that cause. So if he wants to debate, let him go and debate as he's doing one radio station after the other, building mountains of misinformations. Let him keep doing that. But me personally, never I will face to face and move to move with Mamadi
like
on
opposition debate. What I'm telling is like at some point because political party tomorrow at some point you will be very happy ning opposition political party na join ng UDP wala tebe ka formento.
Like
You understand?
this past election
Exactly, you understand? So ngamra be kumala bakele we gonna more gonna sensitize as to me current in the policy in the idea so that we can get people there kafungkang ikaja at some point ning maybe if you have if you go
that will not be debate. Selling my party manifesto programs and policies to people, I do that by way of advocacy.
Exactly.
I don't need to, and it's very difficult to debate with a liar. It's very difficult to debate with somebody who is very untruthful.
I think that's better. Lie.
No, I'm speaking. I'm not even by saying that it's difficult to debate with a liar. I'm not referring to anybody.
Okay. It's vague.
It's very difficult to debate with a liar, and it's very difficult to debate with an untruthful person who has been known for speaking lies. It's very difficult to debate with that kind of a person. So let's concentrate on Barrow NPP because they are the people we want to remove in 2026. Why are you going to put our energies together on each other, oppositions on each other, and leaving the government?
With the situation of member caring Allah party diamo be sharing flag bearer code, do you think molte lose hope la UDP la
no way. There is no issue in our politics.
Yes, there's issue.
There will let me be very speak. Let me be very clear.
Honorable, let us
that you called me several times. That's okay.
Okay.
There is no issue.
There is issue
in you. No, I'm speaking. When I'm speaking, listen to me.
I'm not going to agree with that.
Yes, because number one, UDP is the biggest political organization of this country. Do you understand? So when we say issue, issue is going to be something that affects the operations, the political management and administration of the party. That's what becomes an issue because it has directly or it has negatively impacted, as I said, the political management and administration of the party. When that happens, now there's an issue. But if people are fighting each other because they have different opinion on how they feel it should be, how is that a problem on the party? That can never be. That can never be a problem.
But
they have their views.
I'll told them
now.
You don't expect everybody to think
because
alike.
Kabiring Rugilo Yalawo Kumofo Alawo interview Dula. Ngajele ko lot of people.
Does that affect the political management administration of UDP?
People from UDP.
You are not answering my question. I said I will only accept a particular problem affect my party when that particular problem or issue affect the political administration and management of my party. Now it's an issue on my party, but these are just single on isolated incidents there that don't affect my party.
Allah party leader kabra tata kirfatu ala interview abe thankful address kan
Akamong address.
Allah party abe party dingol aning Gambia
address. That is normal. And no. Be careful. Party leader. I listened to that explain that party leader was not addressing UDP. Party leader was addressing. He was acting at his capacity as a senior citizen of this country. He was not speaking as UDP leader. dilating on the problems of UDP. He was just addressing Gambians as a respectable senior citizen. That politics of disunity, politics of insult, politics of so and so, we should all stop that. That was not UDP problem. He was addressing the entire Gambians. So how do you associate that to the UDP problem?
Now, Honorable, it coming for like Atullah goal recommended to make sure President Barrow Bondi.
Exactly. That's our
still,
goal.
we have UDP in government. You come to KMC, UDP LBJ. You go to Birr Gambia area council, UDP LBJ. The list goes on.
Can I ask you a question?
Well,
and I want us to be very, very frank to ourselves.
No, you cannot come here.
But the thing is,
I'm speaking.
Do you agree with me?
I am speaking, and I insist to
It's
speak.
our platform.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Do you agree with me that UDP is in government?
I'm listening.
Do you
now,
agree with me that UDP is in government?
UDP, we are in Banjul. KMC, Mansa Congo, and LRL.
Yes.
NPP is 4-4. To be honest with you, or for you people to be honest, if you compare NPP-led councils and UDP-led councils, and they ask you to score them, to score each one of them on a scale of 10, what will you do?
Well, I mean, that's left to our viewers. But then
Yes.
I ask,
No. It's not. You have appeared to be my viewers as well here. But you ask this question now. I tell
No,
for
my-
you to be
my-
honest,
my question
Wase
is-
area council, Kuntaur area council, Kerawan area council, Janjambure area council. Look at West Coast. You look at KMC. You look at Banjul. You look at which of these councils
they are
are
trying.
performing.
They are trying.
West Coast Mbalito
I mean,
Bejene.
they are trying. But then my
Let's
question here is,
Yeah.
no question on the development go.
Mhm.
Still, you cannot. I mean, Cisco. I mean, UDP Manta government.
Mhm.
At least
We are. How are we in the
You are
government?
out of the
Mansakunda don't want to be Jacob.
No, that's not government. When we say government, we have three. I'm speaking. I'm speaking, please.
Okay.
We have three arms of government:
Okay.
the legislature, which we have. Yes, we have UDP National Assembly members, the executive, and the judiciary. But if you ask me, the executive,
So,
the executive, UDP is not in the executive.
yes.
The policy-driven, branch of government.
At some point.
So how are we in government? We are not in government. I'm speaking. That's number one. Number two, let me say local government administration. Do you guys ask yourself at one point? Do you guys familiarize yourself with the Local Government Act, where government should give, I think, 60% of revenue? Government is not doing that still,
They should do that.
and they are not doing that. So, in fact, we can, to the extent, we can say the failure of local government administration in this country is as a result of government failure to give them their subvention. We can do that. We can say that comfortably, but we said no. UDP-led councils, we said no. Whether they give us the 60%, revenue or not, we are still going to prosper. We are still going to progress, and this is what we are showing to Gambians. So the little effort, the little resource mobilizations, the little initiative and innovations at our council has transformed significantly the development of these councils. And I don't need to protest on that. You know it, Ramadullah know it, and your viewers know it. So, and compare that to NPP-led councils. More than 4 years, not even a single wheelbarrow has been presented to the taxpayers in those councils. When we can bluff of trucks, UDP-led council trucks, Mbali trucks, projects for the first time in the history of the I'm speaking
those trucks
for
are
the
all,
first time of the history of this country. A local council like the KMC, like the KMC,
project.
no, Mbali project. I'm speaking.
And still now,
That's
people
why I say. That's why I'm coming. It cannot be sufficient. For the first time, Gambia is more than 50 years.
Area council, every time, people are complaining.
That is, I said, not everybody will be satisfied. But for the first time in the history of the Gambia, a local council initiated a project, KMC CAT project. This all happened by UDP-led council.
during Barrow's tenure.
Exactly.
Any development.
Can I ask you, this Gambian Talents promotion, you benefited from that 4 million
We
distributed?
never,
Not actually.
no.
Okay.
We don't, because they say
Because
that
I don't want to
those who are
speak to.
promoting
I don't want to
government
speak to
agenda.
televisions that
Yeah.
benefited from that. From that
we
money.
don't benefit
Because they just be disturbing you with unnecessary
Yeah,
questions.
no.
As a way of
But
disguising.
development
Are you
for the wrong.
uncomfortable with?
Near development or for the wrong. You near any develop, they will refer you to KMC.
That's what we are seeing. That's what we are seeing.
Huh?
Go to
Banjul Mantara development sotakam. Banjul okay, Mbalit Bukataji.
who told you that?
Am I Banjulian?
No. Then you're alien. No.
Mbalit problem Banjul.
I told you the problems will still be there. I told you, listen to me. I never said there is no problem at all. There are still some single isolated incidents. But on a percentage basis, you will score it over 70%. Ballot collection all over Udp councils. This 30% is still there that I'm sure the council are working on. It's not complete. Please.
That's good. Now, question do be kala mun wala wonyente ko Jamalie na National Assembly mol level ka ko ñul mo let mi yalla ka fa ko be ngol la je. When the issue of the Prado issue came,
Allowances.
And including allowance dol. We vansia, but then when it comes to the draft constitution, diamo na wuro be siaring Jamalia fongo nya diamo na wuro fongo siala parliamentarian le ko nyin sabar ni comme ni ka sonnon ila fansun kunna nafala idea la nyami ngani lo so la
National Assembly.
abe sonya lo num baake pour nga move tom lo ngani chapter nyin close since 80s. Example of the issue of the 1.5 million Prado, the clothing allowance and all that. What's your reaction to that?
When you choose public life, people attacking you, people vesting ill motives on you is not really out of realm of your job description. This is all part of it. But I can tell you, some of us has integrity, and I'm very mindful integrity is lost and at once. But as I said, public life comes with that, and as a public figure or as a politician, don't be too emotional and thinking that that is out of realm of your job description. That is exactly part of that. By way of that, in fact, it's giving you room to improve. So the Prado issue, the clothing allowance, and whatever other things you have you said in that statement, I take it as such informations that comes as a result of you being a public figure. And if you ask me, do you want to comment on the Prado issue? I will tell you no.
Why?
I don't want to comment about it. That's number one. Number two, if you ask me whether I want to talk about clothing allowance, I will not talk about that as well.
Why?
What was it? That one?
No, I just stopped at those two.
Yeah, thank you. I will not talk about them because you see, Gambia, our problem is instead of moving ahead, instead of being
but honorable, no.
Instead of being prospect,
this is the issues
in our future, we must progress.
Okay.
This Prado debate, this clothing allowance debate, this has been exhausted.
But still now people are talking about.
But you haven't commented on that. And you are very known for somebody in the parliament that actually.
I will not talk about it.
Why?
Because I am moving ahead.
Is it that because of
I am moving? There is a problem in this country that we're going to address. There is and one thing so interesting. National Assembly members, some of us made very progressive laws. You will attend interviews all over. Nobody will ask you that law. Nobody will ask you that law. And these are the key. I'm speaking. These are the key functions of a lawmaker. The laws, the private member bills you brought before the National Assembly that were rejected. And the private member bills that you brought before the National Assembly that were passed. But no journalist is concerned about that.
We are very
are
concerned.
No, you
I
don't
was-
even know.
I was
We-
even
but
about to
don't tell me we
ask.
don't know.
I was even about to ask
Yeah.
because we have, so many number of, regional democratic parliamentarians in the
Mhm.
parliament
Mhm.
that reject, that actually voted for the, FGM bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
That at some point you receive so many backlash from the public,
Yes.
human rights activists.
That was that. Yes. That
Exactly.
was,
What
that,
was
that,
your
that-
for your
that-
case? You
that's
could not
how-
vote. Probably you were on exams or
No,
whatever.
I voted. I
what
did not vote only for the committee report.
Exactly.
But the final passage of the bill,
Mhm.
I
What was your
voted.
stance?
You know my stand. I don't need to tell you my stand.
Of course,
here.
tell us.
You know my stand.
I did not know.
No, I don't. I told you I'm that kind of human being that's so eager to go to progress. I don't go back. I
Well,
don't. I
but
rarely. I look back. I only look back to look at my legacy.
Mm.
Good legacy. I'm not very comfortable talking about somebody, something, or somebody that is not part of my legacy.
Now,
So voting for a bill that has gone, that has been,
Passed already.
No,
that
but
has
still
been,
now
that
this
has
bill
been-
people are talking about this.
No, it doesn't matter. That is their right to talk about it, but I cannot talk about something that has been done and
So you
something
also
that has been done.
voted for the practice of FGM in the country.
Well, go to records. My records are there. I don't talk about voting yes or no for HGM bill. Why will I do that after 6 or 7 months? No, I want to progress.
mbokk
Actually,
yi
the bills you want to brought before the National Assembly. This is how we progress as a nation.
all right
Mhm.
ba léegi rek yéen a ngi seetaan Gambian Talents TV tey nag ñu ngi am suñ studio bi honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang
That is correct. That's
Sanyang
my
right
name. Sanyang.
yeah
It's
Menteng
ANYAN.
Sanyang National Assembly member bu
Latrikunda.
Latrikunda Sabiji tey moom lañ fi am fii si biir studio bi every Wednesday Tuesday wala Thursday dinañ am benn National Assembly member o benn politician wala ñoom ñaar yëpp ñu nekk fi si biir studio bi sometimes sama loolu moo ma dee gënal su ko defee ñoom ñuy debate ñuy waxtaan affaire si di gën a dox loolu dafay am solo lool waaye nag mu ngi noonu mag suma collègue bi Modou moo fi nekk ba léegi rek am na yeneen issue yi nga xam ne honorable sign lafta nga diyaamu naanaata security la karola
Security in this country right now is very, very, very fragile. I think Barrow administration, one of their significant failure is a lack of their commitment and the seriousness to take the security of this country. That is why at one point I said, if Adama Barrow did not trust our security for 7 to 8 years, that is putting a question to our independence. What is the significance of 18 February 1965? We expect to be independent. 7 to 8 years now, our state house is occupied by foreign forces, and anything can happen in the global politics. 7 to 8 years now, our presidential security details are all manned by foreign forces. Our force family is guided by foreign forces. And the impact of that, as I said, no political relationship is permanent. And there is that much likely foreign forces manning our security installations, our security infrastructures. It's compromised. You never know. They will, of course, there are foreign governments know what is happening in our security sector day in, day out. Nobody can say no to that. That happened. That's that much likely Senegal government, that's that much likely Nigerian government, Ghanaian government know exactly the security details of this country, the security architecture of this country. So they have on a scale of 10, I will keep giving Adama Barrow on a scale of 10, 0 over 10 all the time until I see foreign troops outside our country. If you're also going to go to Fonyi, how can we have a checkpoint of a foreign securities in the middle of the Gambia? That's the Fonyi. It's time Gambians ask themselves, what is the significance? What's the importance of 18 February 1964?
And
If in the middle of our country there is foreign security checkpoint, how are we heading to?
me back if Senegalese drivers were demanding that we should reduce our checkpoints and
Yes,
So-
because they have a significant say in how we manage our country. All because of Adam Barrow's lack of foresight. And it's high time, 7-8 years, if we don't trust our security, resign. Because we're going to be paying our soldiers and police and other security installations when they are not doing the job. So it's high time every Gambian start asking yourself that question. Why do we have foreign forces manning security point in our country in 21st century? Why? So that is a genuine ground for every Gambian to vote Adam out in 2026.
Well, I think the notion that the government is actually relying on some point. They were saying, when things were so much hard way back in 2016 during the political impasse, these are people that actually the Gambia actually relied on to host. Former president, dictator Yahya Jammeh,
Mr. Jammeh,
Mr. Jammeh, and they
Mr.
actually
Joe brother. You see?
and they succeeded in that. Now that Jammeh has left, until now, since people were raising questions as to now ECOWAS needs to leave, but then still it seems as if the government is actually not comfortable with his own forces.
Why
Don't you
didn't
think there is more to?
you see where the failure happened? Yes, our security was polluted
At some point, yeah.
by Jammeh administration. So the government that took over were not very comfortable.
Yeah.
They understand to rely on those security. I agree with that 100%. I was going to do the same thing. But the question now is, for you to remedy that, mischief, we put together what we call a security sector reform. That security sector reform, if it was there was a serious and genuine political commitment to that, within 2 years we are able to implement that security sector reform, and the security was going to be reformed. Now we can rely on them, but their failure, they failed to implement the security sector reform, and that's why they are still in the mess. That's why they cannot still trust our Gambian security, our Gambian men and women. If that was implemented, by now they were going to trust them. But their failure to implement that security sector reform is the reason why they don't still trust our security. And Gambians will never allow that to happen. Gambia will never allow that to continue. We will never allow that to continue. Is you, the president or your administration, who cannot implement the security sector reform? You go. Let somebody come and implement that, and we rely on our security. It cannot be on and on and on and on. It cannot be 10 years. Foreign forces occupying our states.
yeah,
not
because
safe.
moom
It cannot.
soo gisee honorable foofu moom dinaa si ànd ak moom because ñi nga xamante ne ñooy sa security dëkka ñooñ soo amul trust su ñoom naka laay dëkka bi di demee kanam because ñoom dañoo feel ne ñoom dañ lag behind gis nañ fi during time yi Jammeh ak léegi gis nañ ne moo security ñu nga xam ne resign nañ wala amuñ anything to do te loolu dafa lead to yu bare am na problème yu bari yi nga xamante ne xaw na fi lot of criminal things xaw na fi yu nga xam ne ñu ne the person is a security personnel or he was a security personnel but su fekkee ne ñi jiital nañ leen ba pare suñ takaderi comme ni ma ko dee waxee all the time jox nañ leen jumtuwaay jox nañ leen ngànnaay yu bare duy am look at the Sukuta incident still now court bi ñu ngi ko bëgg a dismiss sax xoolal façon ñu mel noonu ak yeneen suñ booda yi amuñ contrôle.
That is correct. You don't blame anybody for that. Blame Adam Barrow and his administration for that.
Suñ booda yi amul contrôle. fu mu neex waaye nit duggee fu lii nit duggee so lot of criminal things ak activities ñu ngi xew fi ci dëkk bi ñu nga xam ne war nañ koo xoolaat bu baax a baax.
I can't agree more on that. The issue of having this foreign forces for foog naa ne it's high time for Gambia to take ownership of our security and all that, because it's at some point more of belittling our own men in uniform at some point, because we know we have the most our security are very competent and they are very professional.
The morale of our security,
you know,
men in uniform right now is so down. You will not understand that until the presidential convoy is going, all the good cars, all the good weapons, all the security communications are done by the foreign troops. So automatically, the morale of our troops is down. It's very, very down.
Now, Honorable, let's move. We've seen, a couple of weeks back, you were in Senegal with the Lord Mayor of Kanif Municipal.
That is very
Can you actually, tell us what
About
actually
your
transpired
trips.
during that trip? And of course, from there, my follow-up question will be, because they are social media. Was the trip
well, that's their business. I told you. For me,
was the
No,
I don't. You see,
Honorable,
I'm speaking. When you are a public figure, I said it before. People attacking you is not really out of realm of your job description. That is exactly part of it. Do you understand? So you cannot be bothered. You cannot be so mindful of what people say about your motives, what people say about your actions. What is important is do it, and do it to the best of your ability. Do it to the best of your belief. Do you understand? So I it's only enemies of progress. Enemies of progress that are going to go against Lord Mayor of a municipality with his councillors and with his National Assembly members to go and achieve a partnership, a twinning of another city in a sister country. It's only enemies of progress
I think we should
that will
celebrate
attach something to that. And the purpose of the trip was not political. The purpose of the trip was not to advance the interests of any individual. The purpose of the trip was to achieve twinning and partnership between Parcel Mayor and Kanifing municipality, so that these two cities or these two municipalities can partner, can twin, exchange ideas, exchange cultural, improvements, exchange agriculture. That's the model of the trip. So if others are ranting,
but kabiring
now before you move on,
interview, okay, a lot of attacks.
no, not actually. What I'm asking here, Honorable, let me
Yes.
you will be for you went there to actually.
exactly, that's the purpose of the trip. Yes.
Sign. Development cool collaboration in the Milan Capo Gamino.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. KMC and Parcel City, they have exchange. They have exchanged, how do we call that in diplomatic terms? They have exchanged ideas, and which they'll follow up. These two cities will follow up from each other, and I'm so in few months to come, the impact cannot just be automatic. You cannot visit yesterday and today you see impact.
Gradual, yeah.
Do you understand? This is a gradual process, especially between two countries, one francophone and one anglophone that has different set of administrative architecture and governance. But I can tell you the mission was very fruitful. The mission at one point in few months to come, it will be very impactful for both Parcel and Kanifing Municipal Council. I can tell you that for sure.
In what
but if you ask me, was there any development yesterday or day before yesterday? It is no. But I'm telling you something big, something so big will come, and that will give. I always tell people, when people make controversies, when they make unnecessary controversies, give them a necessary closure.
So what will be that closure? Can you hint
that
us
closure will come. That closure will soon
you
come.
don't wanna, let the cat out of the bag.
Yes, that closure will come.
Will it be a
Let
surprise
them-
or a salibo, or will it be?
Well, that is what I say. If people make unnecessary controversies, give them the necessary closure. It will shut them up. They'll keep
Honorable,
quiet.
That's
important.
that's very good. I'll attribute to Dakar because
forward to
see,
that, inshallah.
KMC relation sort of anim medicine nga woo jëlee and a lot of people appreciate it.
Correct.
And now depuis nga toog ba léegi ban development nga indi sa
Latrikunda
constitution?
Sabiji constituency. You see, one thing people need to understand about the roles and functions of a National Assembly member is not to give infrastructure. It's not to give your constituency any infrastructure.
But you are there for your constitution.
Yes, you have to.
Your constitution.
Yes, that is. I agree with
They
you.
have.
You only have to go outside the box to go in for infrastructural development. But your key mandate, your key function is not that. I'm sure when you say what you have done for Latrikunda subject constituency, you want me to give you the infrastructural development. That is why you're not bothered to ask me what private member bill have you sponsored, what committee are you heading in the National Assembly, and all these are indirectly impacting the people of Latrikunda. But to answer your question, I'm speaking. To answer your question, when I came on board Latrikunda subject constituency, outside the box, I acted and gave quite a lot of infrastructural developments. If you go there, you ask them, because at one point I traveled outside this country and I met a philanthropist that do help people with regards to some development projects, infrastructure development projects. So when I had that discussion with that person, I was more concerned with developments initiatives that are not taken up by the by the central government. That is especially with regards to giving helping hand to madrasa education, Arabic education. So by way of that particular intervention, I was able to build a complete mosque in my constituency.
That's nice.
I built a complete Arabic school in my constituency. I renovated. I cannot even count how many mosques we renovated. This renovation by way of putting carpets, making the roofs, plastering, painting. I cannot even count how many mosques we rendered that particular service. And that's number one. Number two, National Assembly members do benefit of what we call constituency development fund. But this is not your fund. This is not your money.
How do you
because you must commit that to your constituency. But politicians will say, this is my development. How is it your development? Because it's not. You're just a custodian of that fund. Do you understand? You give a project design, a project proposal to the National Assembly, and they sponsor that in your constituency. You are not. That is not your development. I don't know how are you comfortable to call that our development. That's not our development. That is people's development. Well, it's their money. They are just sort of a system make you control the development to them, but it's not a development. That's the system. So by way of that, quite a lot of milling machines. Sometimes at one point, part of that money we were able to pocket 160 bags of this thing.
Fertilizers?
Yeah, fertilizer. No. Yes, fertilizers and rice. We have done all of that. We supported women horticultural gardeners and quite a lot of things. The records are there. Another thing that I do also in my constituency, I have a WhatsApp group with all my imams. Every single imam in Latrikunda Sabji constituency, I have WhatsApp group with them, and every year I give them one bag of rice. All the imams in my constituency can attest to that. I do that every year. I will call these imams. Some will pick it by themselves. Some I will deliver it personally into their household. So these are some of the things I do, and sponsor a few private member bills. I'm the chairperson. I think I'm the only National Assembly member carrying two committee.
Exactly. Tell us more about those committees. It's very important. It wouldn't be fair if we have a National Assembly member like rightly mentioned.
I'm the chairperson for government project monitoring and implementation. I'm also the chairperson for subsidiary legislation, government project government project monitoring and implementation is the oversight. The committee perform oversight on government projects or every entire government projects executed by any single ministry in this country is we are my committee do perform oversight on them, on the quality of the project. The three key functions of the project is the committee is budget, specification, and time. Is the project going by the budget? Where was there any addendums to the original contract price? That is the budget. Time, is it executed within time? And also, is it executed within the contract specification? That is what should be part and parcel of the contract, are all delivered by the contract. That's the key function of my committee. And since I came on board National Assembly, because looking at my background as a civil engineer who's into road construction, etc., my personal talents and the talents of the committee members have given that committee, a very effective role in the National Assembly. I can tell you, certain project managers coming to National Assembly, these were my colleagues in the project management arena before going to the National Assembly. They know they're going to meet somebody who doesn't mess up. And they know they're going to meet somebody who probably understands what they are doing. So I can tell you, this was a locker room banter by one of the project managers. Business is not as usual in that committee with Honorable Sanyang sitting as the chairperson. And they sometimes they need to do extra work to make sure when they come to the committee, they do because they know.
Because
they know, I know
you already overstand something that you actually have a
exactly, and that's what makes National Assembly role. That's why I'm telling Gambians, National Assembly is the most important institution. If the National Assembly fails, everything fails.
Very
because
important.
National Assembly, these are the people who perform oversight. Like, let's be very frank. If you tell me to come and perform oversight on the cameraman, on him right now, what will I tell you? I don't know how the camera operates. So how will I report to you that your cameraman is doing the job good or bad? So National Assembly going forward, Gambians should respect the National Assembly. Gambians should make sure that they send in quality people, knowledgeable people to the National Assembly.
But honorable, sometimes in a party like a
this is you who told you when your party choose a candidate, that's knowledge, you should vote for that candidate. Madam, this is why I say I advise Gambians. National Assembly is not a party issue. National Assembly, if Gambians get the quality, the necessary quality in the National Assembly, billah wa ta'ala, everything will go well.
Yeah, I believe.
But in as much as you send people who has never worked in the public sector, who doesn't know the role of a permanent secretary, who doesn't know the role of a project manager, and you want that person to go and perform oversight on ministers and permanent secretary, it is going to be no. But if you send in quality people into the National Assembly, the ministers, the directors, the permanent secretaries, the project managers will do the right thing. Because they know when they go in front of camera, they'll be embarrassed. And the people who are asking them, who are performing oversight on them, know what they are doing. You cannot perform oversight on me if you don't know what I do. That's the fact. And that's what I want to establish. So when you come in the National Assembly election, government should forget about tribe, religion, party, and send in somebody that they don't understand the job. So that's why the project, my committee now, my personal talent and the talent of the committee members, I think things are getting better. They know they cannot just come and dribble me. Sometimes I will just let you speak spoken, and I know you are just a fool because you cannot just fool me. When it comes in terms of procurement process, when it comes in terms of preparing a request for proposal, request for quotation, this is what I've been doing for the past 15 years. So you cannot do it haphazardly. You cannot do it wrongly. You cannot dribble me in procurement process. You cannot do that. And you cannot dribble me in project management cycle. So it's become a very different now. The committee is very different now.
Okay, good. I mean, somebody with civic knowledge, like you rightly mentioned. I mean, how could you rate the state of our current battle hiding highway?
In the full disclosure of facts, I was at OIC. Good. I was at OIC. I was there. Exactly. We started the OIC, and the quality of the battle hardened project right now, I see some comments, and I always say nothing can be perfect. Do you understand? But the quality of the roads, the quality is good. If you say the design, yes, there are certain things we could have captured in the design. Because if you look at the traffic, the Sukuta, the Jabang, is it Sukuta Jabang?
Roundabout, yeah.
Yes, that roundabout. That could have been improved more than that. That could have been a flyover. But also, what was the mistake in those days? As I say, no man is perfect. During traffic count in those days, before the project started earlier, before the implementation, the total amount of roads, cars plying in those areas, you realize that roundabout was okay. Do you understand? But what we failed to capture was the traffic around Jabang corridor going to that corridor inside was going to be exploded.
Wow.
So what happened now? During our traffic count in those days, not many cars were using the corridor. But then people were doing their constructions and blah, blah, blah. We also failed to understand that road give value to settlements. So when that happened now, settlement around that area sprang up, settlements around that area exploded, people started moving into their new compounds. Bam, there is traffic congestion. I think that was a design error. But the quality of the roads, I can tell you the quality of the roads is international standard and is international quality. Yes, the design could have been improved. Yeah, I agree with you. The design could have been improved.
Barka Bake, Honorable. I think Liro Fudato Tongotokom, Gayol Kafo Nyameng.
I mean, Liro from the tongue. I just want to pose one question. I mean,
because this guy
almost,
is
1 year, some months time, we will be getting back to the pools at some point.
Yes,
Presidential. Exactly.
So,
I mean,
presidential election to choose a president.
Exactly. I mean, now, can you tell us what is at stake as far as UDP's, pursue to actually bring Barrow, take him out. We
are removing him 2026 because I have started a project in my constituency which I call political offensive. That is to go to non-UDP households and give them reasons why they should support UDP. But for the first time, I have seen Gambians so readily galvanizing themselves into such a powerful political force, very eager and very hungry to remove Barrow in 2026. This is the first time I have seen. And what is so amazing about this? This is irrespective of tribe and party.
I've seen that recently.
Yeah, this is irrespective of tribe and party. So that is why I'm sending this to Barrow. We are removing you in 2026, whether you like it or not. Because Gambians that voted for you in 2021, the same Gambians have now organized themselves, galvanized themselves so readily, not only but so eager and hungry to remove you in status by 2026.
Inshallah. Now, my final question, excuse me, right? Like you rightly mentioned, the goal is to remove Barrow 2026.
Yes.
And you also made mention of you will only debate somebody who is within the NPP.
That is correct. Bring anybody here
now,
who is in NPP.
In case we bring you more Sabari, would you
why not? Why not? Why not?
And he's a good fair
no, let me make a comment on that. Mamadou Sabali, is it worth debating? Is he worth debating?
He is the special presidential advisor.
No. I don't. If you listen to my questions with the vice president, I asked vice president, what is the criteria the president used to appoint? No, I was not personal. To appoint presidential advisors.
Okay. What was his response?
His response, they have certain criteria. I can't remember that. But my follow-up question was, do you check also their mental capability, whether they are mental stable to serve that capacity? And I put to him that your special presidential advisor is not mentally fit to be a country's special presidential advisor. To answer your question, I will not debate with and inconsistent.
But atale nung baba la commando.
That is, he has never been Baba's commando. That is that people call him Baba la commando. But do Baba accepted him to be his commando? No, I don't think so.
Baba, of
You see, let me tell you, Usain Dabo is a politician that you don't expect Usain to send people away. But I can tell you, Sabali was forcing himself on Usain. He was just forcing himself. And the man was, Usain was very careful. I can tell Usain will never discuss any issue very confidential with Modi Sabal, knowing the type of character he is, knowing the type of inconsistent character he is. He will never do that. And that is why, since he left UDP, you can never see him talking about any important issue, any confidential information. With all the time he's gone out to eat that party leaders' food and
Now, who do you want to debate other than President Barrow in the NPP?
Who? Apart from, I don't want to debate with Mamadou Sabale. Okay. He doesn't have the character to debate with. And I told you before, debating with an inconsistent figure or debating with a liar is very difficult. So bring somebody with impeccable character, somebody knowledgeable. Yes, somebody very knowledgeable, not them.
Well, but Sabs, we can't question his knowledge.
What knowledge? You see, this is what you see. Come on, you know what? Let me address that. Let me address that. Knowledge is application. Anybody who cannot apply his or her knowledge is not knowledgeable. Somebody who says an economist but cannot perform outside political role and functions, and you want to call that person a knowledgeable person? Gambia, you see, you have a problem. Somebody who cannot write applications with IDB, with World Bank, and he has to run after presidents for position is knowledgeable person in your Gambian contest? This party is not knowledgeable. If you cannot apply your knowledge, you are not knowledgeable, please.
That's very true.
Thank you.
I think, okay.
That's very true. I agree on you with that. Barakabake, Honorable. Thanks for honoring our invitation. We appreciate it. Teneng paski jamono bi nii comme ni ma ko waxee nit nañ leen yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen a nekk ci pencum ndaw réew ma ngeen ñëw àddu seen kàddu ci wax yi nga xamante ne mu ngi nekk dem parce que you guys are the lawmakers te country boo gis rek it's governed by law te loolu moo ñëw yóbbu kanam te yéen da ngeen play a key important role si Gambia bi so nit na suñ leen soxlaa ngeen ñëw toog waxtaan ak askan beeg yooyu noonu loolu dafay am solo Modou ma bàyyi la ini moole no saran
ka jiber lal tentu ron ke jay
Dr. Modou ngeen ko mande Dr. Modou
ko mta man ke doctor du kana
You start taking them people to court for this doctor.
Kal tentu ron kal jay program wa kind of intense though, I mean, but then we actually commend our guest, Honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang, abuka body platform or niya kumani tomorrow akanan. I think this is what we expect from the parliamentarian and all the other civil servants from Lian and government. Ni molial kumani dorong tomorrow nal ni mole kacha bawo banku do kolam. Dim man kacha antanyo fahamu na ning kacha talent sinyo fahamu ka fale dorong ala baraka bakale continue ka Gambian Talents TV jibe andun ka ya honorable fanan tentu ka jay kedua Gambia fo ala senso sabu nyi mala mu banko la kayro ale o kembe inshallah rabbi ala
baraka baaki Modou honorable ma bàyyi rek nga tàggatoo ak nit yi.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Let's keep it up. And the nation belongs to all of us. A better Gambia is for every Gambian, or is to better every Gambian. So let's endeavor Gambia at whatever capacity you have. Media houses should not collect bribe from government. National Assembly members should perform their role well. From people, and we all need to do our best at our capacity to develop the country. Thank you very much.
Baraka Baake jërëjëf honorable ak Modou Diop di jaajëfal képp ki nga xamante ne rek yaa ngi doon seetaan nii lañ koy defee every Tuesday ak every Thursday si seen Birr Gambia show ndaxte nanaa leen ne Birr Gambia nekk na show bi nga xam ne dafa ëpp dinañ waxtaane lépp li nga xamante ne nit yi ñu ngi ko wax si biir réew mi dinañ ko waxtaane te dinañ leen indil ñi nga xamante ne moom ngeen bëgg a ñu ñëw am ci plateforme bi ñu waxtaane yi fi dëkk bi dafay am solo lool waaye nag di jaajëfal ki nga xamante ne rek mooy Bakary Tamba suma cameraman bi ak ki nga xamante ne moo nekk si technical side bi di Sanyang di nuyu ki nga xamante ne rek mooy Serigne Aliou Dabo bu bari bu Daaru Salaam xam ne mu ngi waajal gàmmam bi on the 16 rek moom tamit di ci oo ñëpp rek foofu noonu ca bari bu Daaru Salaam ak képp ki nga xamante ne rek yaa ngi ci biir réew mi ñu ngi laa gërëm di la sant rek di la ñaanal jàmm ak salaam lépp luñ wax rek lu rafet ci kàddu gi ca borom bala lu ñaaw ci ñun la di jéggalu nag si kàddu yi su dee wax nañ fi benn rëcc rëcc tooguñ fi pour xas kenn wala pour ŋàññi kenn wax naa leen ne saa yu nekk suñ fi toogee rek luy jëmale réew mi kanam moom la ñu indi di leen jaajëfal rek ba beneen yoon jërë ngeen jëf.
US ku yodd sa xët te quality jas na ñoo yor seen cumbukaay tur day uyu borom jas na pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jas na your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality jas na amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi. Ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jas na amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jas na ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi. Make up artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay make up product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofu sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jas na si 250 01 24 ak quality jas na taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it bégal sa alaaji aas.
Immigration information janjandila Auto wig lodula don ko mayata Wig ulitale kadimbalu makoi Wig ulitale kadimbalu makoi Wig ulitale kadimbalu makoi Wig ulitale kadimbalu makoi Musukono mal aliwuli Lalo aliwuli ya mutarfe ani masangilulusi kaya mutaife timbelay